But Johnny, it's good to see you again, man.
Yeah, man.
How you
What's
been?
going on, boys? It's been forever.
So Johnny, I saw on your story today that you posted a book, The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace D. Wattles.
Yes.
You mentioned it was before you started your YouTube
This
channel.
guy, I owe everything to Leo.
And who do you owe it to that I get?
He told me about it, and then I sent it over.
Ah, wow, dude, it's an amazing book. It's like 140 pages, right?
Maybe even less than
It
that.
might even be less.
I think it's less than that.
And it was written. What's fascinating is it was written before like technology.
1910?
Yeah.
It was in the first decade of the 1900s. The guy's mysterious, which is good. It makes him like more credible. He's sort of like Jesus or Siddhartha or something.
It is like a spiritual book.
Yes.
You know?
And it's everything that followed in the self-help genre to me seems like it basically borrows heavily from that book.
Yeah.
But this book is a tenth of the length.
Yeah.
So it's for people listening out there who aren't really into the whole fucking reading thing, perhaps even Big Che, it's simple to consume. But you said, Johnny, that after that you started up your channel, The Connect, which is
took like a
successful.
month. I remember Leo recommended it when we were doing the Fuck Men, which we still get requests to
Still do.
reignite.
We will.
I started reading it as I was getting the
Johnny,
Connect
turn the
ready.
mic into
Oh,
the-
sorry.
Yeah.
Are we good?
You talking to like the
It's in the
pop
front.
filter?
Yeah, That screen where the screen is.
There we
Talk
go.
into the
Bam,
screen.
there it
Got
is,
it.
yeah.
Got it. This is good for people when you have people like Rat Dick on. You have like a barrier. You have like a condom.
Exactly.
To the mic.
It is.
I read it. I read it and then everything changed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because the basis of it is like, what I like from it. It's the guy's like, hey, you may not get rich doing exactly what you want. Like you can't, if you wanted to get rich selling coal now or newspapers, physical newspapers in 2023, probably wouldn't work out.
Right.
But you could start a podcast. You could do something. You could do something else. You kind of have to like take what the times give you. You know, everybody's a product of their generation.
So
I
you're-
like that because it's based in reality.
So your plan A was probably to get big on stand-up, only doing stand-up.
Pretty much.
But
yeah.
you read that book and you're like, all right, I got to adapt a little bit. I can use parallel skills.
Yeah.
I can use my wit and my life experiences, shit that I use on stage, to start a channel.
Yes, correct. But also, it's like, above all, I want the money. Like, I want to be rich because I can go do anything.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm not getting rich doing stand up.
Yeah.
I promise you that. Barely breaking even on the road doing stand up. So that's why I stay at home and do the Connect, because it's like I don't have to leave LA and I make more money than comedians that have been doing it for 20 years.
Let's talk about at what level, because I hear stories about comedians who don't seem like they're that big of names at all, and I'll hear like, dude, 10K a weekend on the road.
Well, yeah, no. There's huge money in stand-up now. Stand-ups are making more money than ever.
Sure.
But it's now bifurcating. Whoa, that's a big word.
I know,
Shouldn't throw
man.
that at your audience.
Big J, bifurcating. You know what that means?
Dude, that'd be wild. If we just whipped out the Webster's definition.
It got worse, Johnny, because he didn't know what certain animals were. We put like a zebra up there, you know. So
That's really funny, you guys. Now, why did you have me on that bit? That's
We
a
could
funny
do that
bit.
again.
I mean, if Rat Dick shows up sober, it can be fun. But when he shows up on Molly, it fucking ruins everything.
Yeah.
Which he just did.
Yeah.
But-
Well, because he's got all this confidence.
Right.
And it's just, and you can't have a conversation with him when he was on Molly too. So it's confidence and the inability to track. But so you're saying that now it's sort of like America, the top 1% in comedy.
Exactly. It's really difficult there really is nobody making 10 grand a weekend. It's either 1,500 a weekend or 40 grand and up.
Yes.
You know,
Gotcha.
you got to be, for a minute before the pandemic, middle class comedy, like people that had been on Rogan twice.
Yes.
And had a good hour.
Yes.
They were on. They were eating. But now, unless you're huge or have a very specific audience like Jimmy Dore, who talks liberal politics, right? Like really like radical politics.
Yeah.
That's such a specific thing.
Yes.
Nobody else is doing it. He can sell tickets. Or Sam Tripoli.
Yes.
Talking about conspiracies. Nobody else is doing that.
Who else?
But
Smith, Dave Smith.
Dave Smith,
Another
he's
guy
talking
who's very
libertarian
political.
shit, right? But that's like, even Dave has a problem. You know, like it's being broadly funny just isn't going to cut it anymore. You've got to be, you got to be huge to really make huge money, or else you're going to make, 40 grand a year. So I don't think, I don't have that. I don't have that dialed in thing. I don't have that thing. I'm not fat.
Well,
I'm
you're
not Asian.
You're
I don't have diabetes.
Like I saw Johnny live, and you might remember I saw you at the Belly Room at the Comedy Store. And
it was a good show.
Me and a Danny Mullen fan were sitting next to each other, and like Johnny fucking broke us, dude. Like we were like wheezing and like eyes watered up, but like you could tell that Johnny is like. He's so our sense of humor that depending on which city you're in, like I feel like Johnny could absolutely destroy, or there could be bitches like this is offensive.
If we had your audience, if it was 4 times as big, and I was on the show every week, that there might be something there. You know what I mean? Like it's like a Howard. You have an Opie and Anthony, Howard Stern kind of following, but media is so flattened now. It's so flat. There's so much competition. There's so much. There's so much noise.
Yeah.
And now they got AI shit coming out. Like Facebook, Meta is launching, like virtual stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So these motherfuckers aren't going to need to leave their house pretty soon.
Yeah.
So to get them out to it, they might listen to your podcast. They might subscribe to the Patreon, throw you a little bit of money every month. But to get them live, oof. And things are just, and the economy's starting to go to shit. So it's like, it's good for broadcasting. It's good for us. That is actually good for us because people would rather spend...
You can't be on the couch. Not on the couch.
People would rather spend $5 or $10 a month on a channel than, going to a comedy club is going to cost you $50 minimum now.
Yeah, it's expensive.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So... for us, what we do out in public, AI is not going to be able to take that away.
No.
So I feel pretty good about that.
That's good.
I wonder how much interest, though, people are actually going to have in AI-generated content.
Yeah, that's true.
Because I feel like somebody told me recently, and I've said this a couple of times, they were like, so pretty soon you're going to be able to change the end of a movie you watch. You're going to be able to punch into a computer. Oh, I want to see the ending to The Matrix if Neo gets killed and Agent Smith rapes Trinity. And I'm like... Yeah, but like I feel like though that just being able to do that is going to be like getting a free ebook. Who reads a free ebook?
Sure.
Nobody. There's going to be so much dilution and so much choice that there's going to be paralysis by analysis, and people are just going to say, "Give me stuff that like is created and curated."
Yeah.
I'd rather have that.
Right. I think it'll be you can be in the Matrix. That'll be the thing. It's not going to be like, change the ending. Nobody has that imagination anymore. It's going to be, you can participate in your own movie, video game. You're hooked up to the machine. And then you'll have a section of people that want to be human still. And I think it's going to be, I think society will be split like that. Like the way people go to movies still. People listen to records still. Records are coming back.
Yes.
It's almost like retro. It's hipster.
Yes.
So I think that'll be people, you're like, oh, you're not hooked up to the machine? Like you're still human? Like it'll be that kind of shit. Almost like a caste system. I don't know. Yeah, that's how I think AI will... I don't know how it'll be a while till it gets there, but that's how I think it's going to be. You're going to be able to be in a video game, be in a movie. Yeah, it'll just be dopamine getting fed to you.
Yeah, it's the joke
Scary.
writing, the AI joke writing right now is amusing. For instance, we did a video back in April where we had AI write us a series of jokes. I've seen some of Elon's XAI in funny mode. I don't know if you've seen any clips of that, where you can put in a filter into the new XAI where it says, tell me how Mount Rushmore was sculpted in a funny way. And it's pretty amusing, but it's never going to be the equivalent of like your midget bachelor party jokes.
Right.
It's going to be like, this is more fun than reading a standard Wikipedia article.
Right.
But it's never going to be. Right now, it's not belly laughs.
Yeah.
I do think. I could see it one-liners. I could see it writing pretty good one-liners. That's the most formulaic kind of comedy.
If you fed the algorithm, Jimmy Carr, like put them inputs. Jimmy Carr, Greg Giraldo, Louis, all of the greats. Who are the great one-liners? Stephen Wright. You guys know about Stephen Wright?
Absolutely.
Anthony Jeselnik. I feel like if you fed the machine all of their work, they could start spitting out probably pretty easily. Yeah. Like sooner than you think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
That's plug and play. That shit you can automize.
Yes.
Now, as we get deeper into the AI world, though, don't you think people are going to crave maybe live events, though. Maybe it's going to be
Yes,
the
of
only
course.
time they're off their phones. You know what I mean?
Of course.
For example.
No, and people do love live events, and
Yeah.
people love it's just for a comedian to get out there. It's the algorithm. You're at the mercy of the Instagram algorithm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it favors stupid shit. We have a friend, Renee Vaca.
Mm-hmm.
I love Renee. I don't really love him. Fuck him. Yeah, but you're supposed to say that. I love Renee. He humps a stool,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that's
Oh,
how
yeah.
he got a massive fan base.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm too lazy to hump the stool. He invites people from the crowd to come
hump
up and hump it for him.
Oh, yeah.
And the love he gets on Instagram, they're just blasting that
Yeah.
thing out there like it's TikTok.
Yeah.
That's
Renee
very-
kills it though. Renee is solid when you see him live.
No, his stand-up sucks, dude. Fuck that guy.
Oh,
no, his stand-up's not that good. He does kill it, but like he's doing crowd work. Crowd work's
But
huge.
that's valid.
That's valid, though.
It's hard to say like what kind of stand
Fair
up
enough.
is good or bad.
Fair enough. You know what? You're right. He's doing his job. He's making people happy.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
you can call those people, dumb fucking moron blobs, and they kind of are. But he's doing the job well.
Yes.
He's doing the job well. Like
People hated Dane Cook when he first came around, but I go back and I rewatch old Dane Cook, and there's like a genius to what early Dane Cook was doing.
For sure. Same with Matt Rife. Matt Rife's like got something, dude.
Any
Like,
guy,
he's-
I think it's tough for a male comic to get the women to like them, right? I mean,
Yeah.
and that's what
Yeah.
Matt Rife was able to do, and Dane Cook, which
There's
you gotta-
always one of those guys.
There's always one of those guys?
There's always one of the there's always a hot comic. It was Dane, then it was Chris D'Elia. We saw how that ended, and now it's Matt. You know what I mean? And then like ethnicities, right? Asian women that just talk about like their Asian mothers. Dude, they're selling out fucking arenas.
Yeah.
'Cause
Persian
it's-
guys, yeah.
Yes, because it's so filtered down. The algorithm puts it. Your customers, if you want to think about your followers as customers, it's so focused. Those are such hot leads,
Sure.
How have you seen the guys from your world, the guys that like this? I mean, is it crime, the drugs, kind of fans of like that
Yeah.
genre? Do they come out to comedy shows?
A handful of them do, but not enough. That's
enough.
what I'm finding, going on the road and doing these one-nighter headlining gigs is like, I could sell 20 tickets in Cleveland, right? And then the club helps, right? But it's like a core group of people that just love me. And I don't even know if they're comedy fans necessarily. They're just there because it's their favorite podcaster live.
Do you see?
So
is it
that's
a-
kind of stand-up's becoming kind of just a public appearance. You know what I mean?
That's kinda what it
di-
feels like for us
And it
sometimes, yeah.
dilutes I think it dilutes the quality of stand-up a little bit.
Is it
In
because
what way?
Well, I think we comedians have to focus on so many other things
Yeah.
besides just jokes.
Yeah, 100%.
That we don't get as much practice. That's one.
Yeah.
Two, when potential comedy fans, all they see are us talking or very crowd work clips. They're not trained to really get what good comedy is.
Yeah,
so you can't
that's
really,
a problem we have with sometimes at our shows.
Right, I've noticed that.
People
I've noticed that.
wasted in the crowd.
Right.
And they don't know, for instance, and this is not a slam of anybody who comes out. This is a very small percentage of the overall amount of people who come out. But every now and then there will be a kid, you can tell it's his first comedy show because
Right.
he's shit-faced, trying to have a dialogue with you from
Yeah.
the front row
Yeah.
while filming the entire
Right.
set.
Exactly.
Which is, you're breaking a couple kosher stand-up procedures
Yeah,
here.
we love having you. We love
Yes.
having you. In fact, I still get Leo and Danny fans coming out to my show.
Oh, yeah.
So we love having you, but they're you can't blame them because they're not trained. They didn't grow up watching the Tonight Show. They didn't grow up
Right.
watching half-hour Comedy Central specials, right?
Now, do you go? We've seen that certain bigger markets, though, even if it is their first comedy show, there's still better fans sometimes that maybe like, for example, the show that we had in Sacramento, none of those kids had ever even really, I feel like they didn't have much, maybe even not many conversations with regular people, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was like when they came to the show, they were like, let's go,
Yeah.
it was just really like a rally of sorts.
Yes,
you know?
it does seem like you guys,
Yeah.
you guys have the rally audience.
It's
Yeah.
a rally audience.
Yeah, yeah.
You guys could run for like city council of a very obscure California town and probably
We might win.
get close to winning.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I do think that.
Sack, dude.
I think maybe
No, you gotta
Wichita,
go-
somewhere in Wichita, Kansas.
Wichita,
No,
yes.
I think we're talking like Bakersfield, but like worse than Bakersfield, like Merced or
Visalia.
The salt Visalia.
We run Visalia.
We could fucking start buying up property, probably with the cash we have on us now in Visalia.
Yes.
And then we'll just take the politics over.
It's over.
The Salton Sea starting to pop.
Dude.
Those shithole towns, they found lithium.
Yeah.
They found lithium.
They found lithium there.
Dude,
Yeah.
it's going to be, that is, we've done a lot of classic videos out there. It's fascinating. The entire lake bed is eroding, and there's been so much agricultural runoff into that Salton Sea that it's filled with like cadmium and just these highly toxic chemicals. Ratic, you have nothing to add. Put the mic down right now. Yeah. Put the fucking mic down. And so every inch that lake dissolves or evaporates, those toxic chemicals harden and dry out, and then they get picked up in the wind and they end up in the residents' lungs.
Oh, wow. So are cancer rates and all the attendant issues. Oh wow, that's amazing,
dude. Their homes out there, like they're not even really cheap, dude.
They're pretty fucking cheap. What are you saying?
Well, no. 30, now
25 G's.
I think 30,
now
35 grand.
With those articles coming out.
Yeah.
Speculators. It's gonna honestly, it's gonna be like the oil boom in California in the early 20th century. Speculators would just buy up land, chop it up, and start selling it to people who would bank on like leasing them to oil companies. We got to do that, but with fucking lithium.
We could get on the ground floor of the lithium in Salton Sea, dude.
Get you guys some jobs. Get your fan base.
I got a fucking job.
Ratic,
I bet you do. Yeah, you can go fucking shovel cadmium out of the Salton Sea for it.
yeah, do it.
Hey, Ratic, would you ever snort a line of cadmium?
Hey, it's ketamine?
No, not
Oh,
ketamine.
you wish.
You wish.
You wish you had ketamine class. This is cadmium, my boy.
Now, I wanted to ask Johnny before we continue, because it's something that I've been interested in, because a lot of my friends have been thinking about going over to Turkey. Now, you went to Spain.
Yes. Oh, I haven't talked to you guys since the.
Are we talking about pussy?
hair
Are we talking about pussy?
No, well, pussy and hair
Can
plugs.
I want to ask him one more thing on comedy before we
Sure.
get off? We're coming back to hair plugs. I promise we'll come back.
That's just interesting. Yeah.
I wonder. Thank you for that, Ratic. I'm wondering, Johnny, because we are starting to dabble in the stand-up comedy thing. For me, I think the most value in it is it really helps me learn what is funny. Because when I do videos, comedy is subjective to me. If I think something's funny, it stays in the video. There's no real-time response. 9 times out of 10, the person we're talking to in the video hates us, so obviously they're not laughing. But it's a really educational tool to have an audience responding to a facial expression, a physical gesture, a joke, the way you say something. So for me, the data in real time is the best part, and it sharpens me for videos.
Totally.
It seems like your conclusion is that, like, dude, keep riding with the YouTube thing being your priority and have stand-up as like a side chick.
Yeah, when you don't depend on stand-up for your living, it makes stand-up so much more fun.
Yeah.
Because the stakes are lower. You know? You don't have anything to lose. Fuck it.
I do feel like I'm looser than a lot of other comedians up there because it's like my side gig, whereas it's their fucking dream.
Yeah. There's a few people, and when you can meet, when the level of your stand-up can meet the level of your content creation, your YouTubing, that's when you become like Andrew Schultz.
Or
you know what I mean? Like those are the apex of that.
You know who's almost to that territory, who's fucking killing it, is Ryan Long. I got to give him some fucking props.
That guy is profound. Not profound. He's always pumping
prolific.
out. Prolific. There we go. Dude, that guy is
you gotta
just
wash your hands again, bro.
And you know what really is crazy? Like Ryan Long's ticket sales, dude. He will do wherever he is, 4 shows sold out.
Yeah.
And it's like that. He really translates the internet stuff into ticket sales better than anybody who's at our level.
That guy was ahead on the influencer prank. You know, he took what you guys do, pranking, but with the basis, with stand-up comedy being his base.
Yes.
Right. You know what I mean? Not the other way around.
He funnels everybody. Ticket sales are his number one priority, and he's so good at capturing those people who see that New York City interview, street prank, skit, whatever.
The brand is always consistent. Like to be, and that's what I mean. Being a comic is so fucking hard now. Because you have to know branding and marketing. And you have to be thinking, is this congruent with the brand?
Right.
Is this consistent with the brand? So I don't think I have that. I don't have that instinct. Like I haven't found a way to make the kind of podcasting I do, the kind of, what the Connect has become, I haven't figured out a way to like seamlessly weave that in with the comedy brand, with the comedy market. So I don't know. You know, I just like.
You're a young man in the comedy game, though. Do you ever think? Do you ever think about that?
I'll be 10 years in.
Yeah, 10 years in, but you're not. Are you 40? You're not even 40.
No,
that's what I'm saying. So it's like, aren't the best years ahead for all of us?
They
really?
They are. We are young men when it comes to this, and we can. You get your funniest in your 40s and your 50s, right? We look what happened with Louis, right? You don't want to pop in comedy in your early 20s, right? Yeah. So yeah, no. I'm just gonna keep going on. We got so much, dude. We got podcasts we're launching. We're launching a media company. We got big plans. So we're just gonna keep getting more famous, keep getting more money, and then if the stand up happens, the opportunities happen, then I'll take them. But I can't be chasing it anymore, guys. I can't be wondering why I'm not getting booked at the Improv Lab.
Yeah,
you should be. For God's sakes, dude. The fucking lab, dude. That room is
it's crazy. Like it's a sad state of affairs in the LA comedy scene and around and just in the scene in general.
I don't know if anybody's interested in this. I want to just talk to Johnny about this so much. It'd probably be a better conversation over a beer or a coffee.
Yeah,
than on a podcast.
Sure.
So let's talk about your hair transplant.
Absolutely. Let's talk about hair and pussy, dude.
Yeah, hair.
They're one and the same. They go along.
You still dating that hot ass chick, dude?
What's that? That was funny. Rat got one in, dude. He got one in. I give it to him.
Very traditional, like very. He's like a more political, more dirty Seinfeld.
Yes, totally.
Like very traditional with the jokes, very well written jokes, and everything's got like. Everything is so much of like what is in the guy public domain. Yeah. Like how we think about relationships and interactions with people. I feel like it started with Chris Rock.
For sure.
Like so much shit that is considered just like hack garbage now that just like out there in the public domain like came from those specials.
It started from him.
Yeah. Like, and I'm so bad at remembering jokes and bits.
Women cannot go down in lifestyle.
Yes.
A man is only as faithful as his options.
Yes.
Shit like that. It's philosophy. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And he's telling it to you like this. This is how it is. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like, I feel like, I don't know, and I could just be jaded, but I feel like there's Definitely no comedy that inspires me like that anymore. Even though comics are doing great.
Yes.
But like, I feel like just nobody is like changing the culture anymore.
I really liked
comedy.
I really loved Tim Dillon's new special.
I like Tim's. Yeah.
I love Tim Dillon's new special.
For sure.
Shane Gillis' new special. I watched it, then I rewatched it, and it's really good.
Yep.
He's great.
Yep.
I have such a hard time remembering jokes. That I just watched the special like yesterday, and I can't remember a lot.
Well, that's the thing is like we remember jokes from the legacy media era because there wasn't all of this other distraction. Yeah.
And it's our job to watch and consume a lot of comedy. Yeah. So it's so hard to remember, like, if you heard a joke on stage live last weekend at a club or if you got it from a special. Who else is...
Is Schultz blowing up to the level of these guys, like Chappelle? I mean, is he selling out? I mean, it looks like he's selling out all over the world.
Yeah, I mean, he's doing arenas.
Yeah,
like
all over the world.
He did the Scotiabank Arena 2 nights in Toronto, and sold 13,000 tickets a show.
That's insane.
It's wild. So yeah, no. I mean, like, there's more money in this shit than ever before.
Yeah,
right.
Like you would had to be to make that kind of money back in the day. That $2 million a weekend, $3 million. You had to be Chris Rock.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you had to be Seinfeld. Now there's 30 guys, 40 guys, chicks too. Mm-hmm. Eliza Schlesinger.
Yeah,
it's all moms.
She's selling
theaters. She's selling theaters.
I'll give her flowers because I usually, any of those chick comedians, what I don't like is they tend to immediately get political once they're huge and they become like Me Too champions, like Chelsea Peretti. Like, how come you're doing shows out there right now? Like, get vaccinated, wear a mask. But I saw Eliza live at the Improv, and she actually I quite liked her. Yeah, she did. She killed it.
Right,
and
because she's like a dude. She's talking about chick shit, but she's got the fucking energy of a dude.